testing out the different methods of the squash was like probably the most challenging thing.
Christina, never say that. Don't ever say anything along the lines of like, things are going to work out from here on out. I mean, it's true. It's like, how hard is
Don't
this
be
salad?
extra clear.
I just did what I told you not to do. How hard could it be?
Might get ugly.
We don't have time to screw around.
What do we do?
I will not be the last thing on that table.
We're sizzling over here.
Best one yet?
For sure.
Are you good at high-fiving?
No.
Me neither. Do you know what the trick is? Well, yeah, look at the elbow.
Okay, ready?
Are we like, is it a walking high five?
This feels like a place where you can actually exercise some creative license.
Right.
In a way that will not make people like freak out.
Right. But I think that also puts a lot of pressure on sides because it's like, okay, all these other things are locked in and I want to get like not only my creativity and the other flavors that I want, but also like all the balance in the meal has to come from the sides.
Right.
So
Do we feel like one of them should be a cooked side and one should be a raw?
I would really like to see a sweet potato.
will you stipulate to something in the squash family?
I'm okay with squash. I'm okay with squash.
It's like sweet potato stuffing and our potato invention. It's just a lot of
Or what if it's a
starchy
mix
stuff.
of like different roots?
What about Brussels sprouts, which are also in season?
Also, Brussels have the advantage of like being raw. You can eat them raw. I love
So
the idea of
Brussels sprouts-
celebrating, in the cabbage family. Like Brussels are, little tiny cabbages.
So I like the idea of Brussels sprouts as like a solid green veg. And I think like, it had a moment 5 to 10 years ago, and now people like really like them and they're accepted. They're easy to find.
Are we counting a salad as a side?
Yeah.
Yes.
There has to be
salad.
giant
Well, then what are we gonna do?
I don't need lettuce at Thanksgiving.
Like a bitter.
I'll do radicchio. I'll do radicchio.
What do you mean?
I'll do
Okay.
radicchio.
Yeah. So what do you
I don't
say?
want lettuce.
What about some roasted but room temperature squash in a leafy green salad?
Oh,
That's
into that.
I love the idea of a salad with like a roasty, delicious.
A roasted element, yeah. And there's plenty of
And then
bush.
squash salad. Super do ahead, and then we get all
Yeah,
of it.
I love it.
If your salad, this is your raw moment, and it might have squash.
Yes.
Does that mean that Brussels are the other one?
Yes.
Cooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they're
Yes.
cooked.
Yeah.
And they're cooked. Boiled. Just kidding. I feel like that's a perfect compromise.
Yes, I do too. It was like
everything's
weird how
represented.
quickly we all coalesced around that idea.
So
I was
then let's
happy.
move on. But I feel like you have a passion and you have a passion. I think two passions should come together and make a passionate case for sides.
We got this.
Passionate sides.
It would be my honor and pleasure to work with Christina on this.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Passion of the sides.
Claire, my first thought is that I feel like we actually, of all the categories, have like the toughest task.
I think we have more narrowing down to do than most.
Feeling great about Brussels sprouts and feeling solid about a squash.
I think those are important, and I do really take home the point about incorporating something raw because it like is the only chance we have in any of
salad.
these. Yeah, like
Very strongly about
some
the salad.
some kind of raw, salady, crunchy vegetable thing because it's one of the only opportunities to bring texture into the meal. So here's the notes from the round table. So sweet potatoes, honey nut, I feel like those are touching on the same kind of direction. This says aged Gouda, which I'm definitely in favor of. Aged Gouda, I think that would go in sort of the more salady thing. So this says, this is my handwriting, salad with roasted squash. Another honey nut, my favorite of all the squashes. It looks like a mini butternut, but it's way tastier.
And so cute. And you can eat the skin.
I think start with squash, and then just kind of by process of elimination, that'll give us some good direction for Brussels sprouts. So I think we should start with the salad first. First step is pick the squash, and then pick the cooking method for that squash.
Once we nail that, all the other components of that salad will sort of like start to come into focus.
Right.
But
and
if the squash is the star,
I feel like it's going to be the kind of salad I want to eat, which is like there's a lot of textures and flavors going on, which I'm excited about. I'm sure it will be a surprise to no one that I have strong opinions about squash. And I guess we should start by saying that it's 95 degrees outside, middle of July, 90% humidity. Not really prime squash season. We don't have a lot to work with, so we have some examples here.
it just feels like there are so many Post-its that say honey nut that it feels like we have to get that somehow.
Right.
Are you familiar with Row 7?
It's a seed company, and they develop like all sorts of cool new like vegetable varieties.
Michael is actually coming in with
Amazing.
not just honey nut, but some new squash,
Okay, so when's this happening?
like right now.
Right now. Okay.
Well, hi, Michael. Thank you so
Hello.
much for coming in. What do you do at Row 7?
Row 7, it's a company founded by myself, Chef Dan Barber, Matthew Goldfarb. The three of us together, we were working on squash and other vegetables and questions about what could they be, how could we make them better. First met with the challenge of how to make a butternut squash like this more flavorful.
And so I understand that you have some honey nuts for us to play around with, but also maybe some other cool varieties.
Honey Nut 2.0.
Honey Nut
The
2.0.
898.
Okay.
Yeah, all these vegetables, they're continually adapting, evolving, and we're making them better all the time. Honey Nut was like that first release, and then moving along, now 898 is next.
898 is The Godfather Part 2.
So how do you go from butternut to honey nut?
We do a cross-pollination, and then generation after generation, you see all different attributes, the characteristics of the plants, and we can decide which ones do we want to keep, save the seed from those. So it's very much kind of a seasoned taste sort of approach to plant breeding.
Can we take a look at 898? The cutest little squash I've ever seen.
They're so
Look
cute.
at this one.
So it's even more
great.
concentrated than the honey nut. It's sweeter, it's more nutritious, it's everything is just concentrated in its stores.
It sounds like the optimal cooking method for the honey nut, given those characteristics, is really like roasting or putting color on it in some way, like a dry heat.
And that's how I tend to work with most of my squash, but there's a lot of techniques you can apply and you don't know until you try it. The 898 and all the other Row 7 crops they're seed packets that you can grow in your garden, and they're all through the markets.
I feel really good about that.
I'm so excited to cook these.
And now we have a better sense of what direction to go in for cooking. So this actually helps our process a lot and narrows it down.
I think we know what we're doing.
Yeah. We don't know anything else about any of the dishes, but at least we got this. Thanks
so
for bringing all
excited.
the special squash.
My pleasure. Always
super
glad to
excited.
talk squash.
I feel like step one is just to roast a couple of the 898s, make sure they act and taste and look the way we want them to.
We can really try to make the salad about the squash and add these other elements that are gonna like complement it really well.
You, I'm gonna guess, want a pan roast?
Yeah, why
Go
not?
for it.
The first roasting method we're trying is more of a straight roast, where it's going into the oven just on a room temperature sheet tray with a little oil. The second method is kind of a combo where we preheat the sheet first in a really hot oven, put the oiled, seasoned squash cut side down on the preheated sheet tray and into the oven. So it's still happening the whole way in the oven, but that hot sheet tray should give us a head start on building color. And then the third method is pan roasting. And that's where I start them in a skillet on the stove to basically sear them and build all the color. Then turn them over, transfer them to like a medium oven until they roast through.
What we're looking for out of all these methods is like good color, good taste, good texture.
Right.
Maybe they'll all turn out exactly the same. We don't know yet. Okay, so these are the three. There's something really like very rich about them. I weirdly wanted to say like buttered popcorn.
I think they smell like French fries.
It's almost like a Japanese sweet potato.
Yeah, I was just
you
gonna say
know?
it's kind of sweet potato-like.
But truth be told, that could have cooked longer.
I think it also will be very delicious room temperature. Like, it doesn't have to be hot.
Agreed.
I think sides are really important to keep those things room temp.
Okay, should we try the next one?
Yeah.
I actually would say this one is tastier.
I think they both probably could be cooked a little bit longer. Let a little bit more of the color develop. Not like it's not like undercooked or al dente at all.
It
But
was a little undercooked.
one of these.
Yeah.
The fact that the skins don't get direct contact just on those, I think, is a plus because it's kind of
I
it's
how
like
you
a
just
little
gave up
leathery.
on that one.
I don't. The skin, yeah. No.
It's like chewing on a paper bag. It was worth a shot. Glad we did it.
Yeah. I think we go toss in a bowl with a lot of oil and salt and pepper onto one large preheated sheet, and then roast it all the way through.
Loving how in sync we are. The 898 is the squash we want, and
It's the only squash for us.
it's the only squash for us. Look, there's us as represented by squash.
We have to now figure out what we're gonna like. What are all the other salad components?
Let's start with lettuce.
I think we have to decide on like what's the leafy component. I want something really punchy to go with the squash, and I think it needs a bitter lettuce that's hearty to also stand up to that.
Yeah, you want something like with character, and that's not going to be lame.
So I'm writing down chicory. I wrote down radicchio, and I'm gonna write down treviso, which is very similar. Probably endive.
What about wild card? Frisee.
Frizzy? God damn. I think we can kind of start there and test a bunch of the different like leaf options and kind of see which combinations we like best.
And then there was lettuce.
I have to confess something. I think I really want it to be radicchio.
Yeah, I think everything we have in front of us right now is stuff that you can get either year-round or like in the fall.
Well, the only way to test these is to keep all this handy, and then we can just basically put together a couple of like vinaigrette options, and then taste with all of the leafy things that we're thinking about.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll grab a couple of other like sweetening things, like some honey, a little bit of white sugar, that kind of thing. Maple could be good. Okay, here's the plan. I think the most consequential aspect of the vinaigrette is, at least to start, is the acid. So we have all of our acid options: cherry vinegar, citrus, and a couple of like very fancy like agrodolce vinegars. A good place to start would be to just do really simple proportions, maybe like 1 to 3 acid to oil. So we start with something really plain and simple, and then we do some taste tests with the different leaves and the squash and decide what flavor combinations we like best, and then we kind of pick a lane, as in pick an acid, and then we kind of work in the other vinaigrette components. I'm going to start by juicing some of the citrus. I'm going to do half orange, half lime. Let's do a teaspoon of vinegar and a tablespoon oil. Okay, so I'm testing a little piece of radicchio, a little piece of squash, and giving a little dip in the cherry vinegar option. So this one is the mixed citrus. Here. That one's really good. Good balance. That's good. I like all of them. Question is, can we achieve what this one does by using the much more easier to find and reliable sherry vinegar without having to call for something? This is just such a specialty item. I would feel a little bit guilty calling for late harvest Sauvignon Blanc agrodolce vinegar. So this is the apple cider vinegar.
This is really good. This is really delicious. I want this one.
Really?
Yeah. It tastes like an orchard. This is probably going to be like a lot more work for the average home cook, right? It's like you don't want to be like, the only way you can make this salad is with this one particular thing.
Yeah.
That being said, I would be perfectly happy to pursue the orange and lime route.
Yeah, I kind of like that one better anyway. Let's sample with the other lettuce options.
Just with the citrus mixture. This is Belgian endive. This is your like blue cheese dressing lettuce cup.
Endive and orange is a great combo. I really like it.
It wasn't doing a whole lot for me, TBH.
All right, just lie, Christina. Just lie, pretend. I don't even want to eat the frisee.
This looks. I don't either, Claire. But you know what?
Okay, and then if we don't want to, if neither of us want to eat it during the testing phase, I think we can just.
Well, unlike you, I am hungry.
Nix it.
So I will eat it.
Well.
It's very strange. The frisee is like hairy.
It's like spiky.
It's just like not.
It's poking you.
That's not cute.
I do know why I want it to be radicchio, not only because I like the taste. There's something about the idea of like the shape of the radicchio leaf being the right size to fit one half of the honey nut roasted.
Yeah, they have similar sort of geometric aspects.
Yeah, like they're on the same scale. Yay, we decided. Okay, let's move on.
No, I am excited. I'm excited that it's something that feels like very accessible to most anyone who would want to make something like this, like all across the board.
I don't feel like a jerk telling someone you have to go to the farmer's market to buy your squash, but you can get everything else like a regular grocery store.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Wait, did I say I do feel like a jerk or I don't feel like a jerk? I don't. Okay, right. The game plan is get all of the toppings that we're considering in like out and ready to go, and then we're going to basically put together like the full serving size of the lettuce, the sort of leafy thing, and the squash, which we're going to do a test where we roast it the way that we kind of decided. And then we're going to basically do all these different combinations and permutations with all the toppings and the two dressing options. One is lemon, one is lime.
It's a very succinct and thorough explanation.
I feel like I kind of rambled about it, but whatever. All right, so these have good color on the top as well, which is good. Let's see about color.
Oh,
Ooh, nice color.
These look great.
So these are done. Yeah, they do look great. You're not supposed to do that. It's like a cutting board. Oh, whatever. Who cares? So I'm going to do lemon and you're going to do lime, right?
Correct.
So these are the two dressings we did yesterday. They're the same, except for my version has lemon juice. Her version has lime juice, and both have orange.
The only thing we're looking for is the difference in the citrus flavors.
Right. And hers is slightly more acidic. I mean, it's an extremely autumnal color scheme.
So freaking autumnal.
And I like kind of tucking them in.
Oh my god, I'm tucking mine in.
Oh, like, hear me out. What if we did, I was gonna say, like, rows of cheese this way, rows of nuts this way, and then rows of fruit that way. And then it's like, there's...
Just make bites.
Just make bites. Okay, fine.
Talk about fruit and pomegranate narrows.
I love these.
Delicious.
The dried fruit options, we have dried currants and
Yes.
dried cherries.
So we have 2 different kinds of apples. One's just like a regular Granny Smith, and then this one is Pink Lady.
Yeah.
Here are our 2 nuts and our 1 seed. These were like the 3 that we honed in on. Hazelnuts, pecans, and pumpkin seeds, aka pepitas.
They felt very like Thanksgiving appropriate. Sharp white cheddar. This is obviously a blue. Parm. Piave. This is an aged Gouda.
Yeah.
Talk about the color. And then like a soft goat cheese. I think I'm gonna try what I think like foremost in my mind gonna work. So I'm gonna do Piave, pepitas, and pomegranate.
Okay, I actually don't think this is gonna work, but I did pomegranate, Gouda, and hazelnuts.
And then I'm gonna put a little extra on top.
This is bad.
It's bad. This one is delicious.
I will do apple, pepita, and parm.
That one was also very good.
Mine was good.
What if there's a salad bar at Thanksgiving?
That is not your
And it's okay, so I'm doing Gouda. What do you call those things? Pecans and apple.
That sounds good. They've all been good.
Yeah, except for that first
We're
one.
not
you
really
did.
getting anywhere.
Okay, I'm getting rid of Gouda because we think it's too strong, and then I'm getting rid of the currants. Nobody cares about.
Nobody cares about. I
Do
didn't
you
even eat
mind
them.
shoving that one forward? And so we've eliminated one from each category. Hey Andy, do you want to try this delicious bite? I made it for you.
Squash, pomegranates, walnuts,
Excuse me, not butter. It's
Oh, acorn. Wait,
It's-
what? No.
Nope.
Honey nut.
You made me a bite?
We made you a bite.
We haven't
Look
said
how much progress we made.
we haven't said what we've been doing this whole time, which is we made hand salad.
It was very good.
Very delicious.
So these are slightly different dressings where the vinaigrette, the acid is half orange juice, half lime, and half orange juice, half lemon in that version.
You had lemon.
I feel like I want that.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
We're saying
Yeah.
that because it's there.
I completely disagree. I think you get enough crunch from the radicchio, and I think throwing a sliced apple, it's going to discolor right away, and you're going to have a brown-colored apple on the Thanksgiving
Tell
table.
him,
There's
Andy.
enough brown going on here.
I think it's going to be totally fine. I think you need like a cool crunchy thing as opposed to like a bitter leafy crunchy thing. I also feel, for what it's worth, pomegranate is totally played out as a topping, like especially on this kind of thing.
I don't think.
And I'm not here for
I don't
it.
think you've understood why you called you here very well. I just feel like you're going to say something so controversial about Asian pear, and I'm going to get upset.
Fine. No, I love Asian pear. It's almost like what jicama wishes it could be.
Yeah, it's very
Or at least
jicama-like.
like good jicama.
Should we just call it and say Asian pear? Everyone loves it.
So good.
You wanna
Fantastic.
change to leaf?
I like everything that's happening.
I think we should make a final platter, and we're going to go with piave and pecans. And we're gonna like basically redo the process with a couple tweaks. What's our vinaigrette of choice? What do you like? The lemon?
I liked the lemon.
I think you could go either way, and I don't think you'd be wrong.
Okay. So, Christina, you want to do lemon in that case, just because it's a little more assertive, which I think is welcome.
I do.
We talked about how like we want it to be acidic. So I think we should make a final version with the dressing that we really want, the nut and the cheese, and we'll make our final decision. It looks nice. It really does. Very fall. I think on the final one, maybe I just want people to be able to see the shapes of the squash, but I think that comes through.
This is by far the best version of this we've made.
I agree.
The final bit of lemon and oil, I think, was everything.
Yeah. I think it's the right amount of sweetness.
The cheese.
It's good. But think about if you were at a Thanksgiving dinner and someone put the salad down. You'd be pretty amazed, I think.
I think so.
It's
And
just
the
like a
best-
very well considered, obviously, it took us a day and a half.
But you know what? It took us that long to consider what would be not only most impressive and most delicious, but also most practical.
We didn't go through all those considerations and all those stages in the process, I would not have ended up on this salad, and I think it's better than the one I would have made.
That was longer than I ever want to think about making a salad again my entire life.
Okay, so we have to talk about the preferred cooking method for Brussels sprouts. Pan roasted or oven roasted, right? Because I've done both ways. We have to look at the Brussels sprouts that we have and decide if we want to cut them in half, trim off any leaves, how we want to prep them.
Right.
And then we'll talk about cooking method.
Okay, I think that's fair. Great. I'm feeling like we're being extra dramatic, and like perhaps that's not the greatest. I mean, we're acting like cooking Brussels sprouts is like making Snickers, which it's not. Okay, so here we go. Pan number 1 is whole oven roasted small guys. Tossed it with oil, salt and pepper, left whole. Pan 2, same method, but just whole large Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
Pan number 3, the only difference is that you cut the large Brussels sprout in half.
Oh, these
wow.
are done. Oh, some might say burned. They look good. No, they look good though. Look how delicious.
What, Claire? These almost actually look deep fried, which is
Yeah,
a really
I know,
good
right?
thing.
I know. Like, okay, so the leaves, like that did not work, but oops. I'll get that later. I would say one man's burned Brussels sprout is another man's perfectly caramelized crispy Brussels sprout.
I think we need to acknowledge that some of the things in front of us are burnt
Yes.
right now.
Like
we're
this-
not
this
we're
is
not
burned.
psychopaths. These are burned.
This is nice. This is not yet blackened.
These are nice. These are kind of like
Those are really good.
crispy nuggets.
Yeah, we're gonna go with the smaller Brussels sprouts, whole, oven roasted at a high temp. It is good that the method we truly like the best is like the easiest.
Yes, we're
Just
not
nice.
just saying that.
Yeah. Really. I think that they're so caramel intensely flavored that it's like these are the meat. Like I don't want to put meat on this.
I'm so glad you said that, Claire, because I feel the exact same way. We kind of like nailed the cook so much to the point
Yeah.
that this is like the main flavor
Right.
that we want to highlight. We want to try 2 options. A dry rub thing with like some kind of sprinkle and a wet treatment that might be something in like a glaze category.
Yeah.
I don't know yet what makes sense for the dry
Okay.
stuff, so
Okay.
I suggest we go to the spice cabinet.
Yeah.
Wow. What about coriander?
Call them right out.
Maybe we could toast them.
Red pepper flakes, yellow mustard, sumac, because that's really tart.
That had some good inspo.
I'll grab some ginger. We're gonna do 2 different tests of what we're calling the wet, and it's basically caramelized honey deglazed with like a chili vinegar, and we're gonna just test 2 separate vinegars. One is cherry, one is apple cider vinegar.
It smells better than mine.
Okay, olive oil, Brussels sprouts, cherry vinegar, honey, chili. 5 ingredients.
We're amazing.
Can I just tell you that I don't really care about any of these dry ingredients, and I don't know that they make sense together.
Let's try at least one. This is just sumac tossed with some Brussels sprouts. And that, frankly, is not bad at all.
Yeah, but it's not that good. I think it's kind of a bummer that there isn't something like saucy to
Right.
go along with it. So let's get some Hellmann's, let's put some rice vinegar in it and some lime zest and some
Okay.
chili flake over top and try it.
And you're envisioning this as like a bottom of the a spread on the bottom of a plate and then Brussels go on top?
Yeah. This is my vision.
Slightly spicy.
Yeah, there's heat.
I like it more than I thought I would.
Yeah, but it just covers up the Brussels sprout.
They're not playing
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. This is not the right direction. Christina,
Claire.
it is my heart's desire to get rid of all this stuff
I know, you
and
hate
bring
this
back
so much.
the one real Brussels sprout, which is the glazed, chili honey glazed Brussels sprout.
I could not agree more.
And I feel like we could really brag to the other groups of like, our dish is so good it only has 5 ingredients.
I bet you everyone will eat every last one.
We want you to try the final Brussels sprout.
Is it gonna be those?
It's gonna be
Hey,
those.
what was in your Brussels sprouts? What was the glaze for your Brussels?
It was caramelized honey. Why is that so funny?
Wait.
Why is that so funny? I love it.
And what else?
Chili flake and cherry vinegar. They're laughing, and I have no idea why.
What do we do?
What? What? What is going on? Is that what you guys developed?
Just developed our caramelized honey.
What Brussels sprout recipe are you talking about?
Honey glazed Brussels, like spicy what are they called? Spicy honey glazed Brussels. They're from last year from BA.com. I can show you a picture. That's okay. You don't want to see them. Okay, well, this has been really fun, you guys. I think your energy is great. And good luck. I mean...
It's 5:40 on day 2. And we're
So you guys are nervous because it's too similar to Molly's.
It is Molly's.
It's Molly's.
Okay, so today was traumatic. Therefore, we are going to take a few days away from this. We are going to think on it, cleanse our palates, and come back to it with fresh minds and nail it.
Well, we're back. We have to take another stab at it. But I did go home and, reflecting on it, think that maybe we hadn't fully considered the full spectrum of like sweet, sour kind of ingredients.
You know, there are lots of other ways to achieve what this trifecta achieved.
Right. It's like something sweet, something acidic, a source of heat, and then you cook it all together and it gets thick and sticky and glazy.
Okay, so let's discuss, because I see something on this tray that's very exciting.
Yeah, this ingredient, which is a lot of fun to work with, which is pomegranate molasses. And that's basically pomegranate juice that's cooked down and like the sugars concentrate and it thickens and you get this. It's called molasses because it has kind of the texture of molasses. You can see it inside the container. Somehow we got through most of Thanksgiving development and no one has used brown butter, which to me is like a staple technique or ingredient of Thanksgiving. So I thought maybe kind of lean into the richness of it and like do a little brown butter glaze with pomegranate molasses and maybe like a little brown sugar just for balance. Maybe we cook the glaze in a skillet and just toss the Brussels sprouts through in the skillet. That's useful for Thanksgiving, I think, because you can leave everything in the skillet and just reheat quickly before you sit down. Pistachios, which we could even like cook in the brown butter, some black sesame, just if we wanted to sprinkle on top. So maybe we add a chili flake component. This is another ingredient, which is date molasses. It's 100% dates. It's very, very delicious. So maybe we do 2 versions of the glaze while these roast and just see what we like better. And so we're gonna cook the pistachios in the butter as it browns. We figured we'll toast them whole and chop them later. Wow. I was not expecting that. So Christina and I each have our own sprinkle. The main difference is Christina's has lime zest, which mine does not, and mine has black sesame, which Christina's does not. So we're going to pull the Brussels sprouts, toss them in the glaze, test out the sprinkles, and give it a taste. They look beautiful. There isn't a ton of glaze, it's just pooling.
Yeah, it's not soppy.
They're well coated, but not swimming.
It's just the same pomegranate molasses version, but now topped with that black sesame pistachio mix.
It's good. It's super tasty, but I'm curious to see how it compares to that one.
We're finishing off the date Brussels sprouts with a squeeze of lime juice and also the chopped brown butter pistachios that also have a little bit of lime zest and chili flake.
The only thing that I think is missing is a tiny bit more chili flake. I think a little heat is really gonna liven it up. Christina alleges that she didn't chop it. I would be so psyched if these were on the Thanksgiving table.
Yes.
I think people rarely think this much about sides. You know, it's just like, oh, a roasted whatever.
Nailed it.
These are so good. One. If you don't like these, it'll be edited out.
It's really nice. The lime and the chili flake comes through. I wish there was just like a tiny bit more like sweet and salt like in the sprout, you know, itself.
Yeah.
Seeing them just whole, you know, we haven't done that. You don't like leave any of this behind. So I feel like this is where
You want that.
Flavor Town is, you know.
All right, so maybe we don't change anything. Maybe we just add that in.
We stayed true to exactly what we set out to do, which was a simply prepared, delicious, no fuss side.
I like how the salad felt, I don't want to say traditional, but there was something traditional about it, like the vinaigrette and that sort of combination of ingredients and flavors. And then this feels like a little bit more of a departure from what you typically see. And I think both will be really good complements on the Thanksgiving table and do the work that they're supposed to do on Thanksgiving.
To me, this whole thing has felt a bit like how I would do this at home.
Same.
In a sense, you know? It's
Yeah.
like we've talked about this before. Like, we're both huge proponents of the salad and the side vegetable at Thanksgiving dinner.
Right. And what I also like about this is it feels like there's been a transformation. It's like it's not that many ingredients. It doesn't take that long. It's not terribly complicated, but there is like the end result is something I think really kind of special. I think we make a good team.
Yeah.
I think that we offer
Claire
each other
dictates
like
and I follow.
but also like we offer each other emotional support. I didn't want to murder you at the end, which is that's saying a lot. I think we should try to high five again. This is really far away.
Okay, ready?
Okay, ready? That rang in my ears. Oh my god. That's the best high five I've ever done with anyone. We got here at 8:30 in the morning. It's now 10:56 and I'm about to just sit here while Brad, you leave.
I'm gonna
and go
leave.
back to your normal job, by the way.
Oh, there's Brad.
And Brad comes in and we make pie. Although I honestly think after this, pie is going to be like
Don't say it.
less of. Never mind. I'm just not going to say anything. Cool.
Beautiful Colorado. We're at the Adams County Fair.
Oh my god.
Oh God!
Wait, here,
You can't. Don't stare. Don't stare.
I get really competitive and really nervous. This is why I should never compete because I go psychotic. Too nervous to look.
We're under the knife this time.